Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the World Cup review show. We are on episode 8 now. Doesn't time fly, and welcome along to Karl from the Levy and Horne football podcast. Welcome, Karl.
Afternoon, Stephan. Afternoon, everybody.
And we've got so much to talk about today, guys. It was going to be a straight review of all the games leading up to tonight's game between Canada and South Africa, the first game in the round of 32. However, overnight, news broke that Scotland manager Steve Clarke has resigned from his position after 7 years in charge of the Scotland national team. What's your thoughts to that, Karl?
Well, where do I start? You can look at pretty much this tournament, especially when you know that first game when it was so loud and vocal to get Scotland's first win at the World Cup for 32 plus years, and then all of a sudden they did not, with them getting the one goal against Haiti, which they should have scored more. Even Haiti could have even got a draw out of this game and the way they played. The way on the last game against Brazil, when they needed to win that one, it was inevitable the way they played, and it's disappointed how that's panned out completely. Look, I just think now, Stephan, be honest with you, it was coming. I think
it was. Mm-hmm.
But the one thing is, I would say is, why did the Scottish FA give him a 4-year extension contract before the start of the World Cup, which is so baffling, and now he's had to go. And the thing is, I will say as well, tactically he was inept. He did adapt to, especially against Morocco. You guys should have had a penalty, which I shouldn't be fair. But the way he played against Brazil, the way he sat down and shook his head, and the way he reacted after the post-match interview, yeah, it's not good enough.
Well, me and you were actually talking about this yesterday when we met up, Karl, and I just said, well, what do it in Chelsea? Look at what Chelsea done with William Senior. They gave him a
6-year contract. It was a 6-year contract they gave it. He gave him, yeah.
And he was sacked 3 months into that 6-year contract. So, could you? I mean, I get why they've sacked them or why he's resigned. I totally get it. But the thing that's baffling is, who do you get to come in and take over as the Scotland national coach? Because whoever comes in now will have to take a pay cut to what the SFA can afford.
Well, Stephan, let me be honest with you. I think the problem is it's not just who takes over. I think it's the whole structure of around the Scotland football pyramid system. I think this is the issue has been that for a long time. I think, look, with Levy Senior, and this is what we did find out eventually why Chelsea sacked him. He did have a break clause in his contract if the things performance. It did into that. I think Scotland would have done that as well before he signed an extension for 4 years. And we already kind of, that's look like it's been confirmed. He already had a break clause due to the performance of this outcome, this World Cup.
Well, the last time we had a foreign manager, yeah, just remember what happened under Bertie Mac votes as he wanted to be called by Scottish people. So right now I'm at a complete loss as to who could come in, but I'm totally in agreement with you. I think the whole Scottish pyramid system, and we've spoken about this on the Saturday show for many a week, Karl, during the season, isn't a mess. It needs a total revamp, and that's why having our journalist friend come on with his proposal, which I actually thought was a very good idea. Something needs to be done with Scottish football rapidly. Yep. Yes. Yep. And congratulations to Cape Verde, of course, for getting through. But when you look at it on paper, Scotland should have been able to qualify with 4 points. But sadly, after the Haiti game, it just all went downhill. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. No. And you think you've had such a strong qualifying campaign starting in Denmark with that 0-0 draw, topping the group. You would think, you want to continue that form into a World Cup, but no, because the reasons being his tactics were all wrong. His tactics were so
Yeah.
wrong. He's playing players that play in very good position for their clubs out of positions. What would be refreshing to me is a manager that comes in and says, right, you're coming, but you're playing the position you do for your club. Keep it at that. Don't change it if it ain't broke. Or Roy Keane apparently as well. Yeah, because I mean, when you were with me yesterday and we were playing FIFA and shooting the breeze, I think it went down to 0.0 like -2% to qualify or something.
Yeah,
I mean that's not even a full percentage point. So how you can expect to qualify on those kind of odds is beyond me. But if you had to stick your wonderful neck on the line, my friend, who would you back? One of our colleagues wants Ange in the hot seat.
yeah,
I think so, but the stumbling block will be his wages because obviously, and not and of course not forgetting all his punditry stuff he's doing for ITV as well. So
yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a rather bit of a watch and wait situation. I think. I really hope they don't hurry this appointment. They've got to get his spot on, and please. I'm praying to God that the next manager gives players like Finlay Curtis, Connor Barron a run in the squad because I knew that Alan Hansen said back in the day you won't win anything with kids, right? But look at what Fergie done at Man United during that wonderful 26.5 year spell. Yes, he rebuilt the squad about 8 times, but his initial one was with youth. The, like, the likes of your Beckham, your Neville, your Skulls all coming through from the class of 92. Yeah, I mean that's the thing as well. It's got to be someone that has international pedigree behind them. It knows how international management works. I mean, I would love a Thomas Tuchel or a Julian Nagelsmann to come to Scotland, but the likelihood of that is I'm in the realms of fantasy there. No, I won't disadmit that, but
Yeah,
yes, that's Mm-mm. I think you're right. I think it's around September, my friend. Yeah. And also, just one last thing to touch on with Scotland, of course, Stevie Clark's big letter that he wrote to the Tartan Army. No, it was. I mean, I was reading it after the England game around 12:45 this morning when it broke. We published literally the whole thing, word for word or pencil for pencil, if you want to put it that way, on the BBC Sport Scotland website. And I was reading it and I was thinking, really? After 7 years in charge, after the backing that the fans have given you every game, every tournament, every away game, that's what you're saying about us. Yep. But yeah, so all we can do is move on, have a new era of Scottish international football. Hopefully the next manager gets just as long as Stevie Clark, because I don't want to see a manager come in, they miss out qualification by, say, one goal or something for the Euros or something, then he gets that. Mm. Uh, I mean, mhm. Yeah. I mean, all I would say is if Graham Potter gets relieved of his Swedish national duties after this tournament,
I
I I'm saying, well, hopefully he does stay, because if he does get relieved of his duties, Scottish FA, please don't look at him. That's the one thing I would say. Please do not look at Graham Potter.
yeah,
Well, we've done that with Steve Clark and look what happened there, so. Yeah. Yeah, and I think with that, I think we'll park the Scotland stuff aside. I'm sure we'll be picking that back up when the regular season starts up in August if we've not appointed a manager by then, which we may well have, but I really just hope they take their time and pick the right man for the job, as it were.
Yeah.
And with that being said, we've got 3 days to cover because I've had a couple of days off, as you know, Karl. So so the first game from Wednesday we have to cover is Bosnia Herzegovina versus Qatar. Now this game finished 3-1 to Bosnia, which is what you would expect. It was 2.5 time. How do you think Bosnia have done in the World Cup so far? Yep, we have. No, feel free to say. I mean, you know my thoughts on cricket, Carl. I'm I'm not a
I,
cricket watcher, but I certainly know who Ben Stokes is. I get that, but come on, you're a professional sportsman. It's just, I tell you, some sports personalities just think that they can do whatever they wish because they've got this. No, he's not. It's just, it's just baffling the way that um, celebrities and sports personalities act. Sometimes it really is. Yes. Yeah, yeah. Been 8 years for them actually. In fact, no, I take that back. It's been 11 years for Bosnia since they won a World Cup.
yeah.
I mean, on the other side of the coin, thank you, Qatar, for coming, but you didn't really shine in the World Cup at all. Yeah, and that's Qatar's also another story of having a foreign manager, but it's not ended well for Joe and Lopetegui this time round. Barely, I would, I would say barely in charge, but yeah, he's in charge still. Oof. See, that's interesting because you don't really hear much from these teams from the other side of the world, as it were. Uh,
Well,
yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I've watched some of Qatar's rivals in the Saudi Pro League, but that's really about it. The next game we have to cover is in the same group, Group B. It's Switzerland versus Canada. Now, a little interesting factoid for you, Karl. On this one, on our World Cup score predictor, I had this scoreline, but the other way around, of 2-1. I had it 2-1 for
mm,
Canada, and it was 2-1 for Switzerland through Raman Vargas and Mazambi, and David pulled one back for Canada in the 76th minute. It was 0-0 half time. How do you think one of the co-hosts has done in Group B, considering you had Switzerland, Bosnia Herzegovina, and Qatar? Yeah. Mm. Well, how far do you think Switzerland can go in a tournament of 48 teams? Yeah. And yeah. Now we come on to the dreaded Group C, Carl. And the first game we're going to talk about is Morocco 4, Haiti 2. Yeah. Yes. Hmm. I mean, it was their first World Cup since 1974. And another little factoid for you is the Premier League club that has had the most goal scorers in this year's World Cup is. Well done. Got it in one. Mm, mm, mm. Yeah. Yeah. And of course, rare little guy from Ecuador. What a player he is. There we are. And of course, we have to talk about it. We'll get this over and done with very quickly. Scotland 0, Brazil 3. But, there's not much more that can be said on that one. Certainly not about the post-match comments. I'm not getting involved in any of that hoo-ha whatsoever. If things happen after it, that's fine, but I'm not going to touch on it here. So we'll just paint over the cracks on that one, and I think we'll move
Yeah.
to Group K in Colombia versus Democratic Republic of Congo. This one finished 1-0 to Colombia, Karl. But despite that, both teams have actually qualified for the knockouts. So well done to them. And do you think that Whistler can now take his World Cup form into next season with Newcastle? Yeah, and the last game from the 24th of June was in Group L. It was Panama 0, Croatia 1. Uh, Budimir scoring in the 54th minute. Karl. Oh, just 1 second. My screen was playing up a little bit there. And then, of course, we go to Thursday the 25th, which was kicked off with Czechia 0, Mexico 3. And would you say that Mexico... That's right. Would you say that Mexico are dark horses? Yeah, and we're coming on... And we're coming on to a very important game for Ecuador. Just shortly, we're coming on to that. The next game was also from Group A. South Africa 1, South Korea 0. Maziko scoring in the 63rd minute to give South Africa the win and qualification to the knockouts. Yep, yeah. Yeah, and of course, also from we're going to Group E now. Curacao now, Cote d'Ivoire 2, a double from Nicolas Pepe. Yeah. Oh, exactly. Question for you on that, Cal. Do you think with the World Cup being extended to 48 teams now, if it's extended again in 4 years' time, which we think it will be, do you think we'll see smaller nations like Curacao and Cape Verde back on the world stage? Because, I mean, there was questions made around when the World Cup draw was actually made on that stream, it seemed to take for hours and hours and hours because of all the pomp and pageantry that goes with it. The question arose, do UEFA teams get easier groups than the rest of the world? And I would have to say yes. I mean, no disrespect, but look at England's group. I know we've not performed top drawer yet, but you looked at it on paper when it came out, and you thought, easy passage, easy passage. Yeah, it's a debate for another day, I would say, in 4 years' time, especially if it gets extended. Now we move on to Group E, and this could have been Scotland's shoulda, woulda, coulda group. If results had gone our way uh, on the Saturday night, I think it was. Um, but this Ecuador game was very interesting because if Ecuador had drawn or lost that game, their manager, Sebastian, wa- was more than prepared to pack his bags and head for home. But because of a rather dramatic winner from Palta, they are still in the tournament and he's still in the job. So, Brazilian. Yeah. See, I would love to see a manager with the passion of Sebastian. Thank you. Come to Scotland. Come to Scotland and manage like that, because that's the type of manager you need. Somebody that's going to kick every single ball with the players. Believe in the. Dare I say I have to use the word, believe in the project. Get the players to believe. In fact, the whole country was behind them. And in Valencia is the elder statesman of Ecuador now, but he he certainly had a brilliant game on sorry, it was Thursday night, not Saturday, I apologise. It was Thursday night. So he had a brilliant game. In fact, the whole team had a brilliant game, and you can't take it away from him. He thoroughly deserved it. Uh, going into overnight on Thursday night into the wee hours of Friday morning here in the UK, we had Paraguay versus Australia and Turkey versus the USA. Now, Paraguay, Australia finished 0-0, goals draw. But in the other game in that group, Group D, it finished 3-2 to Turkey against the USA. Yep, totally credit to them, and hopefully we'll be able to qualify for the next major tournament, whether it's the Euros or the World Cup. Now, folks, switching focus to Group F, because I'm just going in order of when they were played overnight. It was Japan 1, Sweden 1, and it was Tyson Maeda and Anthony Alanga with the goals in this one. And we also had Tunisia 1 and the Netherlands 3. Yeah. It's all right. It's all right. No, I mean, I've taken almost Scotland stuff down. Well, if you know, Helen started it in the morning by taking my John McGinn flag down my window,
I
which is absolutely fine. But hey, we live in hope. We live in hope, as I'm going to say. Uh, Moving on to Group I, we had Norway versus France and Senegal versus Iraq. Now, Norway did surprise me because I thought that game would have been a lot closer than it actually was. It finished 3-1 to France and 5-0 to Senegal over the 10-man Iraq. So what are your thoughts from Group I? Yep, and then moving swiftly on overnight from the Friday into the wee hours of Saturday morning from Group G, we had Egypt 1, Iran 1, and New Zealand 1, Belgium 5. Yeah, but good to see Elijah just from Motherwell on the score sheet for New Zealand, of course. Yeah, I was just going to say that. I think he'll take it into the season with Motherwell, who are managed by Alfred Johansson now of Sweden. So good luck to him taking over from Lens Batista Agu at Motherwell. Um, Moving swiftly on to Group H, guys, we've got Cape Verde nil, Saudi Arabia nil, and Uruguay nil, Spain 1. No. So So, Karl, obviously having an affinity to Marcel Bielsa for quite a long time, being a Leeds fan, where do you think it's gone wrong for Bielsa in his tenure with Uruguay? Hmm. Hmm. Good. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what, Carl? It has a little bit of England 2010 around it when Fabio Capello was managing England when they weren't allowed to go out and socialise or go out for walks. They had to stay in the complex. Hmm. And but like someone else we know who we will not mention for the fourth time on the screen today. Stop it, you stop. Steve Clark tweets is now very much on, by the way. Right, we do have one more group to cover before we're gonna head to tonight's game. Yes, all right. I'll give you that. Yeah, exactly. So, before we finish off, by we're gonna head to tonight's game for Canada and Jesse Marsh and co. We do have one more group, and that's Group L, and of course it finished Croatia 2, Ghana 1, and Panama 0, England 2. Nice goal from Bellingham, I will say. Very nice goal for him. If you were in Thomas Tuchel's shoes, what changes would you make for the knockouts? I love putting you on the spot, boy. Yeah. Uh, yeah. You know how in the Rugby Six Nations, for example, if somebody gets injured, you can bring in a couple of replacement players to fill the squad back up? Do you think they should do that for tournaments like the World Cup at this vital stage where it kicks off
Yeah.
officially? Because I mean, let's be honest. What the squads were cut from, I think 40 or 44 players down to the final 26. I think it is now. Well, yeah, because there should be at least room for a couple of standby players. There should be scope for managers to pick up the phone to whoever we put on their list and say, look, X is injured. I need you. Get your arse out to where we are now.
Yeah.
And hopefully that is something that FIFA and UEFA and CONCACAF and all the bodies that are represented at the World Cup will take a look at for future tournaments and even Euros as well and Copa Libertadores and Africa Cup of Nations and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, the group format, if you expand it to 64 teams, well, it's taken nigh on 2 weeks for this group format to finish, right? It could potentially, if you move it to 64 teams, you could be looking at a month for the group stages. And then you've got, which would be the round of 32, I would imagine that's how it would work. Round of 32, the round of 16, then the quarters, then the semi, then the final. You look at, well, maybe, but who knows? But you would be looking at a 2.5 month tournament anyway by the time all the group games are finished.
Oh,
Well, that's the other way you could do it. You could have it a bit, even a bit like the Champions League or Europa League formats, where it's just a big league and the top, I don't know, 20 to 30 teams qualify. Well, it's all, yeah. Uh, well, this World Cup schedules 104 matches. So if you think if you expand it in 4 years' time again, which we potentially could do, yeah, which would mean it would at least be around 124 matches in that World Cup, maybe more.
Yeah.
But anyway, just looking ahead to the first round of 32 game this evening between Canada and South Africa in the US of A, just because we're kind of finished. How do you think that one is going to go, Karl? I'll give you my thoughts in a minute, but how do you think that one's going to go?
I
I know me too, I'm going to have to do it as well. Backyard, yeah. And how do you think Jesse Marsh is being perceived in this World Cup for Canada? Okay, I love posing questions to you, but yeah, man, time
thank
to the action. No, but in all seriousness, I'm along the same lines as you. I think Canada could do it tonight. I think they could do it by, I'm going to say 2-0. I'm not going to give you scorers, but what would be nice, even if it's just for a 2 minute cameo at the end, would be to see Alfonso Davis pull on a candidate in this World Cup.
you.
Because we know he's been out injured for a long time, but it would be nice to see him back at least for 1 or 2 games. No, no, he's not, because just the first set of games in the group stage came around from him just a wee bit too soon. I mean, the TV camera always cuts to him sitting on the bench with his top on, ready to. I mean, I know he's playing at Bayern Munich just now, or Bayer Leverkusen, wherever it is in Germany, but one day I can see him getting a big move to like a Man City or a Liverpool. Yes,
Oh,
I can see him wanting to come to the Premier League and giving that a, that a, crack. And just a very, very quick one before we finish, Karl. This isn't World Cup related, but it's related for you. And what's your thoughts on Pascal's strike potentially going to Brighton for £20 million? So, of course, tonight we've got, I think it's maybe in the hours of, oh no, it's not, is it 8 o'clock tonight UK time? We've got South Africa versus Canada on the round of 32. I've just realised we haven't covered all the fixtures, but that's fine because we've been going nearly an hour and a half now, so that's totally cool. Um, So, a big, big thank you to Karl for joining me today on this episode 8 of the World Cup review show. So, thank you for joining me, Karl. It's great to spend time with you yesterday as well. You keep it wheelie, guys. Keep it real. And as always, if you want more football content, check out the Totally Levy and Horne Football Podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and all other podcast outlets. And as always, take care, folks. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye for now.